Here's a quick walk around of today's H&H auction at the Imperial War Museum, Duxford. I'm pretty sure this is the first time that H&H have been at Duxford this year. Normally they're down at the other end of the airfield, right by the main entrance, but today we're right down the other end in a marquee. Usually they are in a hangar, which is quite atmospheric, but I'm guessing there's some sort of refurbishment work going on, which means we're down the other end. Fortunately for them, the sunny weather will certainly help. It's quite nice to be outside and having a look around all the cars. It's bright, sunny, lots of people viewing, which always helps. I mean, you wouldn't want to be outside in the marquee in the middle of winter, but it's worked out quite nicely for them. There's a lot of nice things to look at, including that very early Maserati Quattroporte, which I thought was absolutely beautiful and I would love to take home. It's just such an elegant, stylish, well-proportioned thing, and yes, it's beautiful. There's a pair of Austin Healey's, there's a little Alpine A110. This Ferrari, I believe, was modified into a wide-body spec by the first owner by Maranello concessionaires. I have to double check on that. It's a nice thing, but I think I prefer the slightly more elegant lines of an original car. They're quite nice and delightfully narrow. A few Bentleys, Rolls Royces, of course. H&H always has a few. This Series 3 Continental is quite nice. Lots of things to see. There's these kind of age cars, there's pre-war cars, which H&H always do a few of, and then you've got some modern classics later on in the auction as well. You've got some really early cars, as you can see here. So in terms of modern classics, you've got a supercharged Alpina garage find. It wasn't supercharged by Alpina, but by a specialist later on in life. It looks like an interesting little project. There's a few E-types, although they're not really modern classics. You've also got a pair of Subaru P1s, and I even saw a third that was coming to view them, I assume. So that's quite rare, one of which is quite low mileage, I think 23,000. Curious to see how well they both do, and the differential in price between a 23,000 mile car and a 76,000 mile car, I think. You'll see in a minute there is a Jaguar XJ13 replica, which I'm slightly in love with, which is guided between 140 and 160,000 pounds. Now, all replicas aren't made equal. However, I believe there was one recently listed for sale with an original quad cam V12 engine. This is only just, well, a single cam per bank engine that was listed for £25 million. So it's a slight change in price there, but it is absolutely beautiful and it looks so sleek against everything else in this auction. And bearing in mind that everything around it is beautiful in its own right, it really does stand out for me. I would absolutely love to take it home, although I'm not sure I would fit in it. These pair of Alvis are absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't want to have to polish this, but it looks stunning, and imagine that out on the road. There's a silver Ghost. There's a really nice XK150 SE spec, which I'm quite a fan of. There's a Lamborghini Espada. You've got the aforementioned Maserati Quattroporte and the Alpine A110. You've got a nice little Allard, I think, somewhere. And there's also a bright yellow Sunbeam Tiger, which I'm quite a fan of, although I would need to put bigger tyres on it because looked side on it just doesn't look quite right. There's that gorgeous XJ13. I'm quite a fan of the plate on this blue Aston Martin just over on the left, which looks like it says Botox, which I think is quite entertaining. We'll have to see how well H&H do in terms of this auction. I'm hoping the sunny weather helps them and does well for the vendors. It should do, especially on things like this. Nice little summery looking convertibles normally do a bit better when it's sunny because everyone can imagine being out and driving them. So we'll have to wait and see. A few projects in the auction, a few pre-war cars, a few modern classics, a nice mix of different things basically. Some really lovely cars, some cars that you could give a little bit of TLC to. There's even 3 DB7s I think in this auction, one of which was owned new by Elton John. And there's also a Cadillac limousine which also has musician history, which definitely needs a little bit of TLC. Later on in the video you'll see some outside cars, and there's a couple, including a Phantom, that really do need a lot of love, and I'm really curious to see if they ever do get the love or whether they just kind of sit in someone else's garage for a few years before turning up at auction again. Nice little Austin Healey as well. Yes, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's a good sales result for H&H, but time will tell this afternoon. So we're in April, nice sunny weather, lots of nice cars to look at and have a bid on. It's worth, if you're in the area, you can go and have a look. A catalogue is £20 for entry for 2 people. If you end up bidding on something, don't blame me.